Hello, and what do I do with that? Oh, here it is. This is, if you don't know what you're watching right now, it's a multi video. A lot can happen in the video. This is an optimator. I like to call it an optimotor. It's from the Spaten Optimotor 7.6 malt liquor right on the label. Right down there. Yep. Malt liquor. I'm gonna drink that. I gotta watch the news while I do this, and then I'll talk commentary. One reason or another today, mind you. I'm not gonna lie. Hang on. Oh, damn it. What day is it? It's the 9th. Here we go. It's already going.
But for this summer, there are 15 states that have opted out to millions of children beyond the reach of this program. What are your concerns and worries about those children?
So let's get this Optimotor
again in those states during the summer.
Opened up.
But we do encourage families to access the summer
What
meals program. Those are still available in those states.
I guess I'll use some keys.
No,
I'll have to get a can opener.
One of the governors who said no was Governor Kim Reynolds of
Give me a bottle.
She said that rather than creating a new program, what she said would be a new bureaucracy, she thought the administration should.
I've been waiting for this and looking for it
so they could do this on their own.
all my whole life.
Well, I would say that the summer EBT program is a program that has been
all my whole life
for more than a decade. Pilots have shown
yeah. You're wondering what you're watching right now. It's definitely not like a video.
A new program in that it's
and what I have is for the candida. Got cabbage. I'm not really doing the candida diet. But I like to have the cabbage on hand in case I want to start. And I'll eat some anyway. I have some Optimotor. I'm sure how much time I have. It's not a lot.
Earlier you said that during the summer children gain weight. Is that because they're eating?
I was just gonna say that, gain weight. That's what I'm exactly trying to do right now. Well, I stopped trying and now I'm gaining it. And that's the trick. I usually don't have ketchup today, yeah, because this is a stuffed cheese dog. All things. See? It's stuffed with cheese. See? Let's try it. And they got macaroni and cheese with broccoli.
Looking more broadly, beyond just children, school children, where do we stand on food insecurity now in this country for just the general population?
Yeah, well, so food insecurity, did go up in 2022, the most recent data that we have. It continues to stay with us.
So earlier, I thought I had gained a lot of weight. I did, but not as much as that.
Crystal Fitzsimons of the Food
I just put more stuff in my pockets.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you for having me.
But I did eat a lot of food. So now I'm just going to keep at it without trying. Going to fold space and fold my belly.
The New Orleans community is mourning the loss of a Palestinian-American teenager killed in the West Bank last month. 17-year-old Tawfiq Abdul-Jabbar is one of the 94 children among the 370 Palestinians killed in clashes on the West Bank since October 7th, according to the United Nations. In late January, over 100 cars formed a motorcade
and all wars, man.
New Orleans highway.
Because I'm doing this to humanity.
Earlier this week from the West Bank, and I asked him what happened to his son.
Well, I know what happened is my son was traveling from one piece of property to another piece of property with a friend, meeting with other friends so they can do a barbecue. And as he was traveling, he was, I think, ambushed by a settler, retired police officer, a soldier, we're not sure. There was 3 different weapons used. The truck was hit with 10 bullets. 4 of them is very clear to the driver's side and 2 of them to the passenger side. But luckily, thanks God, the passenger had ducked, and he's 16 years old also. He's an American citizen. and they was traveling towards the village on the dirt road from the mountain, and that's when we were stopped and lost control of the car and flipped 3 times or 4 times, and it came to stop.
How did you learn that your son had been killed?
One of my friends called me and said your sub truck had flipped on the dirt road. And, I said where, and he told me where, so we rushed over there, and that's how I found my son in the car shot in the head.
Israeli officials say that they have launched an investigation. Are they sharing any of that investigation and the findings with you?
They have not shared anything with me personally. No, they said they did, but they have not shared. They know who did it. They said they made comments to me that they know who did it, but he's not under arrest until they finish their investigation. I'm not sure why.
Do you trust the results of the investigation when they'll be complete?
I cannot trust them. No. I don't trust anything that they do. I hope my government can step in and do their own investigation so we can come to conclusion who shot my son.
When you say your government, you're referring to the American government, is that right?
Yes, I'm an American citizen, been there since 1996. 5 of my kids was born in the U.S. in Gretna, Louisiana. I'm an American citizen, so my government is American. And my son was born and raised for 16 years in Gretna, Louisiana. So we can help from my government, from my president, to seek justice for Tawfiq.
You moved your family to the West Bank in May of last year. Tell us a little bit about why.
Well, I was born here in Palestine, in Mazar Sharqiyya, about 25 miles away from Jerusalem. My dad was born here. His dad was born here. The whole family had to go back to 1870, 1880. And I wanted to bring my kids so they can spend a little bit of time here. But this is what happened in the first 9 months. I've only been here for 9 months.
You mentioned you're seeking help from the U.S. government. Can you tell us about who you've been in touch with? Who has reached out?
It's delicious.
What you've heard
Now,
from the American
what I like to do is take some of
I
this
just
cabbage
keep getting calls from the consulate
and just
here.
eat it.
I'm trying to reach to senators,
Where?
congressmen, trying to put pressure on the Israeli government to allow us to do an investigation to see who did that to us. All I see is just a comment from the White House speaker, I guess, and that was it. I haven't seen anything yet. There's no movement.
Can I ask about your family? I know Tawfiq has several siblings as well. How are they doing?
It's a bit tough. For my wife, I have 2 daughters, 8 and 6 years old, and I have a 12 years old boy and a 20 year old.
The cabbage
It's
helps with digestion.
My 8-year-old, she kept asking me, I don't understand what happened. So I kept telling her, and politely trying to explain to her that he's in heaven. She still says, I just don't understand. Can't you explain it to me? I don't know the answer.
Tawfiq, my colleague Robbie Chavez has been reporting on your son's death from New Orleans, and he spoke to the vice principal of his school there, who said that Tawfiq was larger than life. He called him a big teddy bear and said that the school was absolutely reeling after his death. What do you want us to know about your son?
My son was full of it. 17 years old, always happy. Never said anything to hurt anybody's people, no matter who it is, no matter what color he is, no matter what religion he is. He plays football.
This is part of the big bulk
He
up.
went to Muslim academy schools. He went to Christian Brother Martin school. He had dreams of engineering. He took
You know,
all that away
If you catch up on the
What does
news,
justice look like for you right now?
There's no justice.
Not all of
Then
it.
we lost humanity.
uh,
My government, my president,
and
we claim democracy.
you munch
we
out.
claim human rights.
You make some of the most
claim that
caloric
nothing should be
intake
done
meals
against humanity.
possibly
And now
made
our own guns
for you by
is
Scratch.
killing our own children.
You microwave the crap.
With my son, it's a big example. And it shouldn't be.
Hey, just go. You start mowing down, you get your malt liquor, you run down there, do that, eat some food, and you try to gain at least 30 pounds a day for the next 2 weeks. That would give you 210 pound gain just from eating that much food and then
Thank
some.
you so much.
Oh, the malt liquor would add
for telling us and for sharing
probably
with
roughly
your son.
grossing a good
Thank you.
300 pounds over a span of one hell of a week. If I don't reach my goal, set goals and just go for it.
Handling of classified documents draws a spotlight on concerns about his re-election campaign. On that and the other major political stories shaping the week, we turn to the analysis of Brooks and Capehart. New York Times columnist David Brooks and Jonathan Capehart, associate editor for the Washington Post. Great to see you both. So, Special Counsel Robert Hur released his report on the president's handling of classified documents. The investigation, we know, did find some classified documents during their search this week at President Biden's Delaware home, his tattered box in a garage, among others.
It's Freaky Friday.
Conclude the evidence was not sufficient for criminal charges. Jonathan,
Every Friday.
to that
It's Freaky
decision.
Friday.
Well, I mean, great that the decision, not charging the president, terrific. The other thing about the report that is good is that it compared and contrasted President Biden versus what former President Trump did. And that is the thing that I think everyone needs to remember. When classified documents were found at the home and all the other places of President Biden and his administration cooperated, gave them back, had authorities do searches. When documents were found or believed to have been at the former president's residences, he stonewalled. He lied about handing them all over, and that's why he was indicted. And so anyone who's trying to conflate the two situations is being disingenuous. So that's what I have to say about that.
Well, we know he did. The special counsel went to great lengths to say there were several material distinctions between the two cases. Is that resonating?
At this point, 12 minutes
I
in,
think so. I think people don't
I've
know
gained
other cases
approximately
more serious. But Biden
enough
was sloppy.
weight. But if we're to step on the scale now,
I think frankly it was
I'll weigh more than it did before. If you don't believe me, you don't have to.
But nonetheless, as Jonathan said, he cooperated. It was sloppy. He said, "Let's
Not gonna
rectify
lie.
this." And if Donald Trump, when they
No
came
reason
to
why.
his documents and said, "Yeah, I
Tell you
cooperated,"
why.
he probably wouldn't be
Food
the mess.
speaks for itself.
We also know the special counsel chose to comment on Biden's memory function in that report, saying he had, quote, significant
Even
memory
inanimate
problems.
objects.
He wrote this: Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview
Move.
of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. Jonathan,
And that's
what do you
why
make of that
I'm
inclusion,
going to lay around
in the
after this with Mary Jane and have a good time.
Your face perhaps says it all, but please.
And that wasn't the only
Mary Jane,
case where he
have a good time.
talked about the president's age.
Say it one more time. Mary Jane, sit around and have a good
Supposed
time.
to be just the facts.
All right.
That was
And I'll
gratuitous.
probably make some
A lot of the
cereal
other
maybe
ones
for a
were
snack.
gratuitous.
With
We've
some
spent
almond
way
milk.
too much
I don't
time
drink
talking
dairy.
about this
I
president.
eat cheese like a
And
motherfucker.
I'll say
Yeah,
it
yeah,
again.
yeah.
When Ronald Reagan was the oldest person to ever be in the White House and run for re-election, I don't recall a lot of people within his own party talking about the fact that we need to get another person. He's too old. And what Counsel Hur did was feed lines to Republicans who want to make the president's memory and capabilities and whether he's senile a talking point, gives them some fodder. But what Counsel Hur has also done is given bedwetting Democrats another reason to complain about the president's age. Meanwhile, they're not focused on the fact that the 82-year-old president of the United States has an incredible record in the 3 years he's been president. I wish people would focus on that. And the fact that he mixed up, the president of Egypt with the president of Mexico, I did the same thing around this table when talking about the governor of Virginia. Remember when I said Governor Northam, the two of you, your heads popped off. You're like, who's he talking about?
Former governor.
A former governor,
But
but
also, to
still.
be fair, you are not president of the United States.
I know,
Yeah.
but not yet. One can dream.
Let me ask you about this, David, because we did see, as you both mentioned, President Biden come out in a fiery press conference last night, and he referenced
Wow.
specifically one of the mentions that Counsel Hur made about his failure to remember when his son Beau died. Have a listen to how the president responded.
How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, wasn't any of their damn business. I don't need anyone remind me of when he passed away.
David, the White House used the word gratuitous. Was it?
2/3. You know, I think the special counsel used at the age because
Lots of Malta.
how a jury would think.
4 months ago.
Jury would not
Thank you.
get the guy 'cause
It's not as
he
good stuff.
well-intentioned guy would learn.
So be prepared. If you find it.
Nonetheless, prosecutors are also not allowed
You
to
didn't have to
insult
open it to
people
hide,
who
but-
they don't charge because the people they're insulting don't get their day in court to fight back. And so this is prosecutorial standards, and I think he sort of very much flirted or went over the line on that. On the age issue, I think it's a perfectly legitimate issue. Listen, I've been interviewing Joe Biden for 30 years. He's not as quick as he was. I saw a picture used to do 94, now throws 87.
Now get out there and do some good for this world, for fuck's sake.